What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Another day, another dollar. Another week, another team. And that team on the menu is the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, y'all. The Tennessee Titans. Let me go ahead and unplug this. Let me a second. There we go. Had to unplug that G thing. But yeah. Another day, another dollar, man. What we got on the menu is the Tennessee Titans. We're going to get straight in, but where my book at? Oh, there we go. There's been some findings of, that there won't be no players such as Derrick Henry. You see, a lot of my report that I created earlier in the week was based off of Derrick Henry. And then as soon as I got wind of him possibly not being available, I had to, there were some things that had to been changed, right? But hold on, what this is? What is this? Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. So, with that being the case, right, the Tennessee Titans, no matter who they got at quarterback, no matter who they got at running back, their play will be the same, right? Because one thing for sure, right? For some reason, they said that Ryan Tannehill should be their quarterback, right? So when they got Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis and Dobbs, them are similar type quarterbacks, and they do similar things for what they want for their offense. For the running backs, we know Henry, and then we have Hassan Haskins, right? Hassan Haskins, right? Definitely Hassan Haskins is definitely not no Derrick Henry. However, some of the things that they want from their running back that Henry provides, he can do. So we're going to get into that, right? So let's get into it. So Hassan Haskins, right? Who would I respect for the offense to be heavy around? And I'm pretty sure they use the other running back who I'm not really too familiar with, right? But I know Hassan Haskins will be the main. I know Hassan is that Michigan cat, right? Hassan is 6'1". How big is it? 6'1", 220, right? He's a one cut and go back, right? And one thing that I've seen, especially when he was in Michigan, was he will always score, right? He always has a nose for the end zone, right? And he has a love of hurdling the defenders, right? But one thing you can expect, like I said, that you should expect that this man's going to be downhill, right? I'm a little disappointed that we're not going against Derrick Henry because I was actually looking forward to this game, y'all, right? Of course, we were looking toward Philly, though, but I was actually looking forward to see how the Cowboys was going to go against Derrick Henry. I was really looking forward to that because I really wanted to see manhoods being tested. I really wanted to see who was really ready. You know what I mean? Like Little Caesar's Pizza, man, just, a little hot and ready. I wanted to see. But evidently, we ain't going to be able to see. Right? So, One thing the Tennessee Titans do is run it inside zones, off tackle plays, and just straight dives, right? They're just like, look, we got one of the better backs in the league, and we just gonna run it down. We just gonna run it downhill. And with Haskins, they will do the same thing, right? It may not be some of the same results as Derrick Henry can provide as far as having that spark, right? Because we know that when it comes down to speed and home run hit it, we know Derrick Henry can do that. And Haskins, well, when it comes down to that, Derrick Henry has the edge, right? But Haskins do run with a little bit of power, though, right? And so, and so, but the cool thing about it is when they run it downhill, that is the strength of our D line. The interior, that's the strength. They'd be like, oh, but your best players on the outside. Yes, but when it comes down to being consistent, there has been no unit on the defense more consistent than the D tackles, right? Last game, a little something, but it was banged up though, right? But it was a little something, a little wear down, right? Because this defense is a little wearing down, right? So even though Tennessee, it looks like we'll be probably resting a couple players that we'll get into, that don't mean that we take this game off, right? Because regardless if Henry was playing or not, I wanted this game to be played and be played with an intensity and be played with an urgency. And whatever happens in the last game is just whatever happened last game. I guess it probably all depends on, what Philly does as far as if it has anything to play with. Me personally, I don't really care who we play in the playoffs because one thing the Cowboys have proved, and one thing that they can prove again is that there's no team in the NFC that when the Dallas Cowboys are on their game that can beat them. That's just what it is, y'all. You can disagree with me if you like, but the proof is in the pudding, right? And I'm not even talking about the outcomes of the Minnesota Vikings game or the Eagles game. Nah, I'm talking about style of play. I'm talking about talent, right? Matchups, right? So, one thing, right, that the Titans got going for them, which I can add to the equation, should be two more things, is in the offense that the Dallas Cowboys will be going against. Not only are you about to see a rookie quarterback, but you will be seeing a rookie wide receiver, who's their number one guy, and a rookie running back, right? So with Trey, so let's get into the quarterback, right? I wrote my notes down, but really, y'all, I'm just gonna go off of what I've seen, right? Because it's gonna align with it anyway. So let's go with the rookie quarterback. When it comes down to the rookie quarterback and his developmental, when it comes down to passing, he ain't that guy right now. Let's just be real. As far as him being a threat in the downfield passing game, there is none, right? There is none. But one thing that he can provide that the Dallas Cowboys have shown weakness to is in the past is the ability for the quarterback to be able to run. And most importantly, when I talk about the run, I'm talking about the read option, right? So one thing that you can expect from this team is the read option, right? And Malik Willis have shown the ability to not only pull that thing, but make some plays after he pulls it. So you shouldn't expect a heavy dose of Malik Willis's legs if he plays. And even if it's dives, I would expect his legs as well, right? So one thing's for sure, no matter what quarterback you get, which I would expect for it to be Malik Willis just because of he needs to work, right? But expect legs. Expect for him to try to put his athleticism on display, right? See, one thing in a passing game, they're going to try to get it out quick, right? because one thing we'll get into the offensive line in a little bit though, but they want to get that ball out quick. And when they do use the play action, which they will use, especially if they're able to establish the running game with Haskins, is they gonna play action to Treylon Burks, the rookie wide receiver that we talking about. Treylon Burks, as discussed in, early on in the year, to me, he was the number one wide receiver coming out, right? Not only do I like his size, but I like his physicality. He's shown the ability to go ahead and lower that shoulder. And he also has a little bit of speed with that size, right? And he has the ability to be able to adjust his body to go get that football, right? He'll make some tough catches, right? He got some good body control when it comes down to making catches, right? Early on, he had a little bit of injury problem, and I believe he had a little bit of problems of being in good condition. But it looks like that situation has resolved itself. So with that being the case, right? Just off of talent, it's somebody to keep your eye out on, right? But I'm confident that Diggs can go ahead and cancel that out, right? I'm pretty confident that Diggs can cancel that one out, right? And then we have the running back that we just talked about, right? So them is things that should be kept an eye out on, right? So with that being the case, right? Let's go into Rob Woods. We're very familiar with Rob Woods with the Rams. He's more of like a possession wide receiver. He'd be a wide receiver that maybe try to get open kind of quick, that's going to work the short and intermediate routes. Rob Woods, in his career has provided to be, when he went to a certain team, to be kind of a reliable target with the Rams, but with the Titans, he hasn't had the success that he's had, in his previous stop because of the quarterback play. Let's be real. The scheme just doesn't really fit him, right? Especially the quarterback, right? But we know that when Rod Woods want to be on and when Rod Woods can get on, Rod Woods can have the ability to be able to keep them drives going, right? So that'll be something that it'll be good work. It's a different type of wide receiver, and it'll be good work for the corners. All right, I definitely like to see that, and I definitely like to see my young corners. I would love to see Nashawn. I would love to see Bland, and I would love to see the newcomers on Treylon. Right, just something different. Right, I love to see that. Right, right. Then we got Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper has proved to be a solid tight end. I believe he had a stint with the Browns and with Atlanta Falcons. Right. And I believe Hooper is what, about 6'5", 6'6". So that'd be some size that you may have to go ahead and worry about in the red zone, right? Austin Hooper, has proved to be able to work that intermediate, route tree as a tight end, right? So you can't sleep on him, right? The reason, you can't sleep on a couple of these weapons though, but the reason why it just that their success hasn't been big with Tennessee, just because one, of what they run, their style of play, into the quarterback, right? Everything goes back into the style of play into the quarterback, right? And but yeah. So in this game, it's important that the Dallas Cowboys rush in their lanes, right? Because one thing that we don't want is this quarterback to get going in prolonged drives and make plays with his legs, because he can be a dynamic weapon, as shown in my film session that I dropped earlier, that he can make some plays with his legs. So you definitely don't want him improvising. You want to keep him in the pocket and make him. If you can have this man throw for 30 plus times, man, that's an easy win, right? Because not only does he struggle with his reads, right? Either them they want to just go 1-2, bop, 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 and I'm out, right? As far as him just being, like I said, a prolific passer, that's just not what he is. I'm not saying he won't get there one day, but where he's at right now, it's just not gonna work. That's not it right now. That is not enough to be the Dallas Cowboys, right? But if you allow Haskins and this man to get going on the run game with their legs, this game is gonna be harder than what it should be, right? Especially with Henry being out, there's no way that you shouldn't go ahead and wax on and wax off, right? So let's just be real with that one, right? They want to, if the Titans can, they would love to run this ball 70% of the time, kill the clock, and go about their business, right? And it's in Tennessee, and the Cowboys is in town. I don't think they won't sit over there, you know what I mean, come to play, right? One thing that I've seen in this offense, especially that they like to get the ball, they'll hand the ball off to Treylon Burks, right? They did that in Arkansas, and they'll do that again this game. They might mess around and have him in the backfield taking direct handoffs, right? He's that dynamic, right? I like Treylon. Treylon can play some football, y'all. Him and Wilson, them two guys was the ones that I was high on, right? There was other good wide receivers, but them the two guys like, okay, they can play some football, y'all, right? So that's something that you're gonna have to be mindful of, right? I did say that Henry had a fumbling problem these past couple games, though, but that's not the problem of the Dallas Cowboys anymore, right? So, you know, if we can go ahead and mix some of these coverages up and have this man seeing something that he hasn't seen since his experience of being on the field is less than I'm talking about Willis now, you can go ahead and have this man throw you a couple of picks as seen in my last play of my film session, right? Linebacker just creeped over, man. He didn't see the linebacker for some reason. Boom, pick, man. Big play of the game, especially at a crucial part in the game, right? Toward the end when it was trying to make get some get back. He fumbled because not fumble, but he faltered because, he didn't read that linebacker, right? That linebacker sat and just baited in him, right? And there's one thing that he's going to do is he's going to stare down a couple of the wide receivers because he was staring down that wide receiver. So he'll go ahead and stare down the wide receivers, right? And staring down the wide receivers with a man like Diggs. And then you go into Treylon Burks, man, cookies. Right? This team, it's crucial with this team to have a fast start. You don't want to, this team can't play from behind, right? But this team can't keep a lead. Be mindful of that. All right, can't play from behind, but they got the formula to keep a lead. Don't know how effective it would be with Derrick Henry out, but their play style, they can keep a lead, right? Expect to see a lot of play action, right? And just because Henry ain't there, you still need to be prepared. Linebackers still need to be prepared, right? What's going on, Hoodlum? Linebackers still need to be prepared to come up and hit, right? Inside tackling, they gotta be ready, man. It's the inside game, man. Hey, just the physicality of this front seven, right? Henry or not, it's gonna be there, right? So let's get into this offensive line, right? Backup tackle Taylor Lewan is out. He has shown the ability to go ahead and get beat with some speed. But I see that the right tackle, he might be banged up some, so he might be out. So that'll be another opportunity, for that. So look, man, for what it's looking like, man, hey, you want this pass rush to get back on track, man, go ahead and knock out this run with Haskins, man, and Law, William, Fowler, Micah, or have at it. Right? Because one thing's for sure, he gonna try to extend it though, but he don't know how to go ahead and extend it and look for the throw though, right? He gonna try to extend it. He gonna be tossing the turn. He gonna be doing the hokey pokey and turning himself around, clown, and he gonna be doing all that, man. The sack numbers should be up this game, y'all. Let's just be real. Deshaun had a pretty decent game though, just for the circumstances that he was put in, and just really he just being this real game experience of just him being kind of getting the most out of it though, right? But yeah, I do agree that we do need another corner though. I do agree, right? So let's get into the defense, right? So it looks like Bud Dupree, he's banged up and he's had an injury history in the past, especially with Pittsburgh, right? And so judging by off of them holding out Henry, I wouldn't be surprised if they hold out Bud Dupree this game, right? But one thing for sure watching that film, that front, I like that front, y'all, right? Let me see. I'll tell you who I like on that front. I like Autry, right? Autry got 8 sacks. I'm gonna look at Autry. Autry has been a solid player wherever he went, right? You got the big boy, I forgot his name though, the nose guard. He's kind of solid, right? You got Big Jeff Simmons. You got Big Jeffrey Simmons, right? That's a bad boy right there. Then you got Bud Dupree. You got Cunningham at linebacker, right? They have a solid front, right? And one thing's for sure, in this front, they stop the run. They physical against that run, y'all. So just think, if that front, if they play that defense and they play that front, don't think that it's going to be cookies. when it come down to running the ball because they stopped their running. Then they got a nice Pro Bowler at named Kevin Byard at safety that go ahead and play, right? But one thing's for sure, them cornerbacks, very suspect, right? But yes, man, they're very disciplined. They're very stout in the run game, especially in the middle, man. Jeffrey Simmons and the other cat. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, but they don't play that in the middle. It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys, you know. Hey, they're not playing that in the middle, man. I love Jeffrey Simmons, man. I hope he plays, man. It'll be nice because one thing that you will see is Jeffrey Simmons lined up on Connor McGovern, right? Yeah, we always say that yes, he's the weakest link of the line, right? And Connor McGovern has been doing his thing, right? But I'm gonna tell you something, right? Going against Hargrave, going against Sue and all them. Oh yeah. Simmons is it's gonna rank it up just a little bit, right? Because Simmons is better than all of them, right? So don't get it twisted, right? Simmons gonna come in and play. Eddie strong and got size too, and you go ahead and mess around. He'll go ahead and knock that ball down. So y'all best to be ready for that, man. Y'all best to be ready for that, right? But one thing that I did see that the Texans did that they could have probably did more, but they picked it up toward the end was getting the ball downfield. One thing for sure, these corners are suspect, right? I've seen them get love when I believe the tight end, I can't think of his name, but he ran a wheel route, I believe, and he was able to get open downfield, right? Why I seen Cooks, I know Ty on the comeback route that'll be cookies, you know, especially Ty familiar with him, right? You know, they know about Ty. Ty, hold up, man, it's barbecue chicken right here, man. So, you know, Ty be like, it's some finger licking good, you know, taste so good, make you want to slap your mama type of barbecue, right? When it come down to Ty and seeing them corners, right? So be prepared for that, right? You know, so there's definitely a lot of opportunities regardless, even if they did sit or not sit, there would have been opportunities for the passing game, right? All your receiving options should be able to eat against this one right here, y'all. Let's be real, right? Let's just be real. They passing defenses. I believe they give up the most yards, if I'm not mistaken, right? Zach Cunningham, I wanted him, right? But he's from the Texans originally, and he's a tackling machine, right? We know hey, you know when he get going, especially if he's running and hitting, if Simmons and him is allowing him to run and hit, he's a little problem. He's a little problem, right? And originally I had said that this is a Tony Pollard game, though, but judging off of what Tony Pollard is going through, yeah. So there might be some tweaks to that, right? You're gonna see probably a little bit more Zeke, but you should also see a little bit more Malik Davis in this role, right? Right? Because one thing's for sure, I would want, you know, some of that perimeter being, because look, it's just tough all in all, right? We're gonna have to throw a lot of more on the shoulders of Dak Prescott, though. But hey, we pay you $40 million. You showed you can do it. And hey, you coming off a good game. Let's see how you respond after you didn't go ahead and had this great game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's see how you respond with success, right? Which I already know that Dak Prescott fights through adversity and handles things in the correct manner. So I ain't worried about that. But how the rest of the team is gonna handle that, right? But one thing I am confident in is my Dallas Cowboys overcoming anything, right? We done overcame a lot, and we're gonna continue to overcome a lot, right? So that ain't the problem, right? You know, making plays ain't a problem, right? Because one thing's for sure, our big time players and big time plays and big time games, they make big time plays, right? So I ain't worried about that, right? But yeah, man, they pass rush though, because the pre gonna come with the see. One thing is for sure with the pass rush though, I wouldn't be worried because I believe that our tackles should be able to cancel out their tackles, right? But Dupree, he'll come with a little power up. But one thing's for sure, you're not about to bully Tyler Smith, right? And Danico Autry, you would have to say, man, hey, that's cookies with Tyron Smith, right? You know, that's barbecue chicken, man. He ain't gonna really get much. And regardless if he flipped the side, it still would be cookies, right? So our tackles will have the advantage, right? But their biggest advantage will come inside, regardless of where Jeffrey Simmons lined up, other than Zach Martin, right? So let's be real with that one, right? But yeah, I hope because I definitely want to see that match. I definitely want to see Simmons get down, right? I haven't watched too much of Tennessee this year, right? So I definitely would love to go ahead and just sit back, man, and just watch them ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But One thing I seen that running back Freeman, he got into a lot of bit of he got a little space going on. So we can go ahead and maybe isolate some of these running backs, whether it be Malik Davis, TP, or Zeke, utilize them in space a little bit, let them cook. Let them things cook. Let them cook, man. Right? Let them cook. Right? But yeah, man. It's gonna be, I wouldn't say it's gonna be a battle, right? I don't know, because I don't know who gonna miss. I'm kind of certain that Bud Dupree won't be up in there. I'm pretty sure that, especially since he fight through something and that they'll send Henry, I'm pretty sure they want to keep him for the big game that they got coming up. So I believe that it's possible here he won't play, but or they might sit some other people out. Who knows? But one thing's for sure, y'all, with this team going against this team, we should be able to do damage. We should be able to get things done. We should be able to get this win, right? We should be able to cover the spread, right? So don't play around with this team. Go ahead and hey, look, in this game, especially if they defense play, you might have to pass to open up the run a little bit. So if that's the case, then Dak, you're gonna have to come and you're gonna have to get fired up a little early, and you're gonna have to fire these boys up real early, you know what I mean? So we can go ahead and end the game running. We might not begin the game running, but we can end the game running, right? And especially that's playoff championship football, right? Can you ice the game? Can you run 4-minute offense, man? Running the ball, killing that clock, man. Can you do that? The Dallas Cowboys have shown that they can do that. And this right here, man, to go ahead and keep this defense fresh as long as possible, because this defense is banged up, right? To keep this defense fresh, man, and we need to move the chains. We need to get T.Y. a little bit more involved this game. We just need to be worried about moving the chains, right? Move the chains, keep the defense as fresh as possible, and get up out of here with a win, right? And that's just what it is, man, when it comes down to the Tennessee Titans, right? It's really that simple, right? And that's what it is, right? Take advantage of their corners, right? Because what's the corner name, man? Adoree out. So take advantage of their corner. Fulton, you can go ahead and push him downfield, right? You can take advantage of him, man. But just go ahead and push him down, man. Make sure that you ain't getting real tip ballish, man. You putting the ball in the air, because one thing's for sure, Kevin Byard will go ahead and pick it off, right? So be careful around him, be prepared to fight in the run game once again if you got the boys up front. But hey, just understand that a Gallup, a TY, a CD, hey, feast. Feast on them corners, right? That's where the true mismatch is. See, one thing with the Dallas Cowboys team, every week you can find an opponent somewhere where you can just exploit them, right? Just exploit them bad, right? We did it with CD in a slot. But shoot, you ain't gotta put CD in a slot. This game, man, you go ahead and exploit these corners, man, anywhere you want, right? And with the defense, man, bring your heart, bring your toughness, man. Stop this run, man. Hey, be disciplined. Don't let this quarterback get outside of you, right? Keep him in the pocket. Make him a throwing quarterback, man. And when you got that going on, should be easy work, y'all. Should be easy work. If you really wanted to be technical, man, I'll give you give me 28-10. If I really wanted to be technical, give me 28-10. That's how I'm going with it, y'all. 28-10. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here briefly, real quick, man. Talk about this scout report. Hey, look, man. Hey, every game, man, is just getting ready for the playoffs, y'all. That's just what it is. Every game just getting ready for the big thing, man. We in there. Hey, you want to be able to be playing at your best, right? So this is the game where you should go ahead and see, hey, what's up with my corners? What's up with Mullen? What's up with McKenzie? What's up with Nashawn, right? This is the game where you do a little experiment, right? Go ahead, sit TP out. Let me see something. Let me see you again, Malik. Let me see you go against a tougher defense this time, Malik. Right? Let's get TY. Let's go ahead and get that continuity going with TY just a little bit more. We already trust him, right? If you go into TY on 3rd and 30, you got to have some type of trust, right? And a part of that from his pedigree, right? Go ahead. Just work on certain things, right? Work on that fast start and then work on ending it fast, right? Just work on certain things like that. Pass rush, you want to go ahead and pull your ears back. Hey, go stop this run. in the first quarter and the second quarter and have fun in the third and fourth quarter. That's just what it is, y'all. It's just that simple, y'all. But anywho, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Hey, y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for me, man. Share this content, man. Because, like I said, man, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're a sports fan in general, and you don't know about this page, and you ain't tuned in, and you ain't sub, what's wrong with you, man? You out here committing crimes, man, and you should go ahead and be put away for eternity. But anywho, y'all, we up out of here, man. Y'all have a good one, man. And tomorrow's game time. We'll see y'all again tomorrow, man. But we out.